All right, so this workout has 3 sections, pretty straightforward, 4 movements in each section and 3 rounds. And the reps and time are on the far right side of the page. Most of these movements are pretty familiar to you guys. There's some exceptions. The overhead triangle is the first movement in the first section. I'm not sure if we've ever done them together, but it's pretty straightforward. It's going to challenge both your mobility and your overhead stability in the shoulder. So some of you may feel like you need to be light, like what you would use for lateral raises on that. Diamond push-up pulses, you guys are very familiar with. It's where you're really trying to stay under tension at the bottom of your push-up and not straighten your arms for as much of the 40 seconds as you can. Elbow to hand plank, just be focused on trying to bring your hand back to where your elbow was, not in front of, because that's much easier. Lunge pulses means that you are staying under pressure at the bottom of that lunge position. So trying to avoid straightening your legs during those 40 seconds. And by the way, it is 40 seconds on each side. I should edit that. The second section is bicep curl to press. You're going to be doing 15 wide arm row. Generally, we've been doing narrow rows. This time your elbows are going to come out to the side, which does make it more challenging. You'll see how that looks in the video. Sit-ups to press. There is a lot of pressing in this workout. And then goblet squats, a little higher number of reps than I usually suggest, but try to maintain the same weight that you would normally use for 15 reps. And then the last section, you have a lateral lunge to a press, 10 on each side, prone lateral donkey kicks. I'm not sure, I think I did this with you guys last week. Just focus on keeping the pressure over your shoulders. Try not to make it a leg dominant exercise. And then rotating squat jumps. I'm not sure we've ever done these before. Definitely a leg burner. And then chest fly pulses where you are staying under tension at the bottom of your chest fly position. Good luck and have fun. Okay, overhead triangles. You're going to be working on shoulder stability of the top arm and flexibility in the hip and the adductor, which is the inner thigh. Notice that one foot is pointing out in front of my body and the other is pointing out in that triangle position. The diamond push-up pulses, I lasted a very short time on my toes. That was my honest attempt at trying to stay on my toes. So I'm not expecting you to be on your toes the whole time, and focus more on depth. Just remember here that you want to bring your hand back to where your elbow was. If you place your hands not as far back, it will not be very effective for your triceps. Try to avoid standing up for all 40 seconds so that you keep the time under tension, 40 seconds on the left leg and 40 seconds on the right leg. Keep your elbows in the bicep curl. Keep your elbows really close to your body. Try not to allow the elbows to swing past your torso because that will no longer be effective for the bicep. It'll be more of a shoulder movement. In the press, just make sure that your arms are behind your peripheral vision. So usually we do bent over rows with our elbows in. This is going to be more challenging for your traps and your upper back because your elbows do go out wide. Notice that my elbows get above my body. Really try to focus on squeezing the shoulder blades at the top. Here, it may look like my back is arching at the top of the press, but it's just that I'm making sure that my ribs and my body are going forward enough and that my arms end up behind my peripheral vision. Goblet squat. Pretty straightforward. Just make sure that you are pushing your knees out during the squat to avoid any internal knee pressure and that you are dropping your glutes as far as you possibly can. Lateral lunge to press. Notice that both feet are facing forward. I've noticed that sometimes people turn the foot that they're going towards out, and I don't want you to do that. You want to push your hips back and keep the toes both pointing forward. Here, what's most important is that you want to keep the pressure in the arms. So this is somewhat related to a handstand. A lot of people will do this by keeping the weight off their arms and into their legs. So focus on hips going up. Squat jumps, make sure that your fingertips touch the ground each time. That's a good way of knowing that you're being honest about the depth of your squat, keeping your chest up at the bottom and trying to be as continuous as you can. Chest fly pulse, make sure that your elbows are a little bit soft so that you don't injure your elbows themselves, and make sure that your arms are in line with your armpit, not up at your ears. We want to be working on the